Hey there, and thanks for joining me for another episode of Total Ramblings. This is going to be another sort of Blake Seven episode. So you might recall a little while back, I did a review of this Blake Seven Production Diary Series A. And it's a beautiful book. I was quite late to the game in getting this. And then, of course, Series 1 came out on Blu-ray, and I've mentioned that as well. But I got this almost as soon as it came out. This is the production diary for Series B. It's a slightly larger volume. At one point, I believed it was going to be twice the size. It's arrived this week, published by Cult Edge. This is a non-profit book. This book is not for profit and raising money for UNICEF and the Alzheimer's Society. And of course, this is about the second series of Blake Seven, Series B. When it comes out on Blu-ray, assuming it does, it will of course be called Series 2 because that's just how things happen. But this is, again, it's another fantastic book. I will be putting a link into where to get this down below, probably here somewhere, and in the comments. But I just thought we'd have a very quick look at this. It's not cheap, I'll be honest with you. It's very pricey, but it is worth it. So Series 2 of Blake Seven is interesting. Well, they're all interesting. But basically, Series 2 of Blake Seven, we finally saw, or we began to see, that our heroes were not invincible. Spoiler alert, by the way, in the episode Pressure Point, Gan, one of the original Seven, dies. And because Blake Seven was an evolving, ongoing series, this has repercussions, right? It's not just forgotten about in the next episode. Gan is gone. And we, in fact, spend an entire episode with Blake kind of teleports himself down to a planet to kind of try and atone for Gan's death, because we also see another side to Blake. We see Blake becoming fanatical in his pursuits. To the point that at the end of the particular series, so there's an overarching arc through Series 2, B, where Blake is trying to find Federation's central control, which initially he thinks is on Earth. Turns out it's an empty room that he breaks into, and it was moved, I think, 30 years ago. No one knows where, and he eventually tracks it down to a place called Star One, where there's a single planet orbiting a dying star at the edge of the galaxy. And Blake is prepared to destroy Star One, even though it will cause the deaths of potentially millions, if not billions of people, because Star One controls climate, traffic control, a whole load of stuff across the Federation. So we see Blake becoming more fanatical. And in an interesting twist, after Series 2, Blake isn't in it. You've got a series called Blake Seven, and there's no Blake. So anyway, as you'll see, I'm just kind of leafing through this. This is, as it says, this is literally a day-by-day, or however, sort of diary of when certain things were prepared or filmed for this particular series of Blake Seven. We've got some lovely photos, many of which I haven't seen before. So I'll give you an example here. Tuesday 1st, August 1978. Filming location, Aldbury-on-Severn Nuclear Power Station, South Gloucestershire. Episode Redemption, Day 2. Here's an interesting fact for you. My house, I used to live opposite Aldbury-on-Severn Nuclear Power Station. It was right opposite my house because I was on the other side of the river. Here's another interesting fact for you. Allegedly, the coastline there, apparently, I'm told, resembled that of Germany, and we would get kind of the RAF doing sort of pretend bombing or paratrooper runs on the coast. This is what I was told, but I definitely saw it with my own eyes. Anyway, yeah, so another beautifully put together book. When Series B comes out on Blu-ray, which I am really hoping it will, this is going to be a fantastic companion to that. And of course, what we are also given, if I go to the back here, is a sneak preview of the book for Series C. So Blake Seven only had 4 series, A, B, C and D. At the back of the book here, we've got kind of details about the crew, recording dates, etc., for each individual episode. So there are 13 episodes in each season of each series of Blake Seven. This is Pressure Point, the episode where Gan dies. And I'm really looking forward to the release of Series B, Series 2 on Blu-ray, because they've been doing a fantastic effort in sort of upscaling and improving the special effects and really giving Blake Seven the attention it deserves. So Blake Seven, you know, I've said this before, it's kind of known a little bit for sort of wobbly sets and what have you, but I have to say the acting and the scripts and the internal chronology and the universal sort of world setting is unprecedented. There's a real story going on in the background, and it's not all driven by the crew. You know, there's an intergalactic war. Servalan assumes the presidency and is then ousted. The Federation falls apart for a time before it basically gets stronger than ever near the end of the series, through pacification programs. You know, at the end of this particular series, Series B, that's when the intergalactic war happens, and Blake is forced to make a choice. Does he destroy Star One, or does he keep it because it's going to be vital for the defense of the galaxy from the invasion from the Andromeda Galaxy? And the Liberator ends up fighting alongside Federation forces. But basically, at the end of the intergalactic war, 80% of the Federation fleet is gone. So for a while, they're on the back foot. So in Series C of Blake Seven, number one, there's no more Blake. And number two, Jenna also has gone, and obviously Gan died as well. We have new characters coming in. We have Dana and Tarrant coming in. But essentially, in Series C, it's less about fighting the Federation, and it's more about the crew encountering weird situations and, you know, and kind of non-Federation involved activities, until it all comes back to bite them, of course. And then Series D, the crew is very much on the back foot until the inevitable end. So, this book, written by Jonathan Helm, designed by Graham Robertson. Yeah, this is a really nice book. It's fantastically produced. I think it's print on demand, because when you order it, it says it'll be printed within sort of 5 business days or whatever. I believe it's not going to be available forever. But as you can see, there's a lot of information in here, a hell of a lot of text, some fantastic behind the scenes photos. And if you are a fan of Blake Seven, I think this is indispensable. So there we go. We've got some nice shots of the Liberator model. It's been in for repairs, apparently, in preparation for its first round of model filming. Yeah, so you can see the engine bulb has been taken off, presumably for servicing. But yeah, I really like it. I really like this book. I think Blake Seven is having something of a resurgence at the moment, when you've got books like this being created and the Series 1, Series A Blu-ray coming out. And it's really nice to see. And I just hope I survive long enough to see the whole of this series of books and Blu-rays coming out, because I absolutely love Blake Seven, and I'm falling in love with it all over again through these books and through the releases that are coming out. So I'm going to stop burbling on there. Thank you very much for watching this episode of Total Ramblings. Please feel free to hit the subscribe, like, share, bell, buttons, all the buttons. Hit all the buttons. Add a comment. Tell me what you think. You know, tell me what you think I can do better. Tell me if you think I'm doing brilliantly. Do all that kind of stuff. Thanks for tuning in for this episode of Total Ramblings, and I will hopefully see you in the next time. Bye-bye.